Juniper Master Program is. We will go ahead. We will start with JNCIA Junos, and then we'll proceed with JNCIA's Enterprise, then JNCIP Enterprise. So I think for each course, there will be 2 months of time, but accordingly, how much is the syllabus and everything, it depends. But that is kind of our plan, that we will give 2 months of time to each of the certifications. So as I told you, there are 3 certifications that we will cover up in this program. And first is JNCIA Junos, that has this code JN0105. Then JNCIS ENT, JNCIP ENT. So if you proceed with, if you want to do like JNCIA Junos only, that is also fine, because after that you can go ahead with SP as well. JNCIS SP and JNCIP SP you can do, because this is the prerequisite that is required for JNCIS ENT as well as JNCIS SP. Even DC, if you want to do JNCIS DC or you're planning to do it in future, JNCIA Junos, if you have done, that's fine. You can proceed with ENT and then DC. In today's webinar, what we are covering is, I will share all the details about what we are going to see ahead. Like, first step will be JNCIA Junos. We will cover JNCIA Junos first, and then we will move to any other certification. So I think someone is typing. Yes, Puneet. So repeat the certificate detail as in, fine, let me explain. Are you talking about the track, like certification track? How can we move to JNCIS, ENT or DC like that? Okay. So that I will explain in another slide as well. But it's better if because I'll share a slide where I'll show the hierarchy. So that will be better for you. So let's skip it for now. In another slide, I'll let you know. Fine. So right now, in this webinar, I'll let you know about the basics of JNCIA Junos and syllabus of it. So that is why this slide is there. But do not worry, I'll let you know what the track that need to be followed for after doing JNCIA Junos. Fine. So from this exam, what is your expectation, or what you can expect from this exam is that once you complete or once you pass this exam, you will be able to troubleshoot on a very basic level. You will be able to do network administration on a very L1, on a very basic level, like a L1 engineer. So basically, the professionals with beginner to intermediate knowledge of networking, those people can easily crack this certificate. This is this exam actually verifies that you have a basic knowledge of Juniper devices, because this entirely covers up Juniper OS operating system. So mostly about like Juniper OS only. So yeah, how much you know about Juniper devices, the basic level of that, anyone can determine if you have passed this exam. Then who should enroll in this particular exam or in this particular training? So whoever wants to do a JNCIA certification, or whoever wants to grab fundamental knowledge about the Juniper devices, whoever want to start their career in, TAC or operation level, or even in designing, network designing. So here you guys can start from. So in this particular JNCIA program, we'll see like operation as well as the monitoring, the configuration, everything. So after this, if you want to go ahead with the network designing part, that is also fine, because this you need to know if you want to work with Juniper devices. So as you can see, entry-level network engineers can do it, can enroll, network administrator, network support technician, help desk technician. So that is what I told you. That these are the job roles that are best suited if you have like JNCIA with you. Fine. So as we will move forward with this, we'll see some areas, some focused areas or key areas that we'll get to know in this program. So of course, it's a networking certificate. So networking fundamentals will be there. Routing fundamental is there. So a little bit about routers, little bit about every routing protocols is there. Then routing policy and firewall filters, like routing policy in the sense, the configuration of the policies that we do while, if we want a certain packet to, take a certain path, we make our own routing policy and we configure that and a packet will move according to our desire. Then firewall filters. So if we want certain type of packets that we don't want on our interface or on our network, we want to filter that out. So we use firewall filter on those. Then the second key area that is Juniper OS fundamentals. So as I told you, a lot or a major part of this certification is about Juniper OS. So it's a little bit different than other OSs that you might have worked with in other devices or another vendor devices. So that is why they have like made a large portion of this part in this JNCIA certification. So they want you to know Juniper OS because it's actually I will not say it's the best, but yeah, it's better than many OSs that are running on other vendors. So architecture will be covered, user interfaces will be covered, configuration basics will be covered, uh, the configuration of the device as well, initial configurations or the configuration that we do when we want certain networking protocol to work. So those all kind of configurations will be there. Then we have maintenance and operational monitoring of Juniper devices. So yeah, as I told you, while you complete this program, you will have a basic knowledge of configuration as well as monitoring of the device, as well as maintaining or troubleshooting the device. So there is one module where you'll find these monitoring commands. You'll know about monitoring commands, or I mean, everything that you need to know about troubleshooting on a level 1 position that will be covered under this program. So as per the topic, it's showing that we are going to do introduction to Junos operating system architecture, but I will start with very basic things because I feel if someone is enrolling for JNCIA, they want to know every basic detail. Some people like I have few people in around me. Those guys are not from CS background. So I understand that it's a little difficult if we directly move to some architecture or anything a little advanced. So we'll move with on a very basic level in this today's webinar. But I'll make sure that whatever we cover is useful. As I told you that we'll first go very basic. We'll cover today how network works, what are the what is OSI model, then the components that are there in network. So basically we will not learn about the computer network components, but the Juniper devices, whatever routing devices, switching devices, security devices we have. I'll show you the pictures of them and then the characteristics of them. Then overview of Junos routing devices, and then Juniper operating system software. So I'll cover this, but in a this Juniper OS, I will cover it, but very little bit of it. So yeah, so someone was asking, I think Deepak was asking about Juniper certification track. So here it is. So as I was saying that if you are, 1 minute, if you are JNCIA Junos certified, you can move in either way, service provider or ENT. So this is very basic thing that is required. If you do JNCIA Junos, JNCIS ENT, you can move into JNCIP DC, into data center as well. So that I was telling you that JNCIA Junos is very basic for all of three routes, uh, either service provider, either enterprise routing and switching, or data center. For others, it's JNCIA Junos is not required. There is security exam, and I think these are not meant for us. But if you want, you can just see it here. So, do you have any question, Deepak, regarding this, or this diagram clears it out? Okay, Puneet was the one who was asking this. I hope this will clear it out, because it already has all the details that if you are JNCIA, if you're doing this, you can proceed with any of till expert level. You can proceed with, either with service provider or with enterprise routing and switching. Fine. Let's see. I'm moving to the Juniper website to, show you what is the Junos, JNCIA Junos objectives, or what are the topics that you need to prepare, or from where you need to prepare, like that. So this is juniper.net. You'll put it in Google, that JNCIA Junos exam. The first site that comes up is this one. So you can see here that this Junos JNCIA, if you do, it will provide you a core understanding of Juniper network core operating system. So this is very important in this. Screen is not visible. Okay. Is it not visible to everyone? It's visible? It's visible. Okay. Reshma, I think it's something at your end. Yeah, you can re-log in and check. You want me to wait, or should I proceed? Okay, so maybe we should proceed. She can. Okay. Fine, Reshma. So, yeah. So if we are preparing for this exam, we have these recommended trainings. You can click on these and you can go ahead with it. Or there are exam resources and tech library. I'll click and show you what you can find out here. See. So they have documentation available with them. Like if you want to know about BGP, you can click on it and then you can download the PDF of it, and then you can go ahead and learn. You can keep it as a, PDF, download PDF is here. In the same manner, it has CLI reference as in the CLI modes or the commands that we require to move from one mode to another, configurational mode to operational mode, like that. So those things, or those references are here. Then Junos evolved, the difference between them. Or if you are very interested in the operating system to know about the very deep stuff, you can go ahead and check this out. They have installation and upgrade PDFs. So if someone is working already in networking domain, okay, you can't see this page. It's web browser page.
It's visible, guys. I don't think, is there any problem from your side? You'll continue.
Okay. Okay. Ankush, you can try, yeah, you can like check, relog in again or something like that.
I
Uh,
have relogin, but I'm getting the same page, exam objective.
what page you are getting?
PPT
PPT
slide
is
it is.
showing. You can check your entire screen is shared or not. Because I checked on YouTube as well. This is the live session, but in the live session also, it is showing me the PPT only.
Okay, let me stop sharing it and share it again.
Yes, now we can see.
It's visible. Okay. When I'll move to PPT, you let me know if that will be visible to you, because I think switching these slides may be causing the problem, but no issues. So did you see from where I came to here on these documentation page? So let me show you again. This is like if you Google search JNCIA exam, the first link that comes up is the Juniper.network training link. So here you can see the recommended training, then exam resource. I was telling you about this Juniper Tech Library, where you can go and you can download the PDFs of few things that that will be helpful for you. So this installation and upgrade steps are also given in a PDF form here. So do check it out. It's very useful. If someone is already working in Juniper or someone is already working with Juniper products, they might know that this installation and upgrade is something that you face on a daily basis, like if you're working on a TAC environment. So that was my point of showing you this, that you can go and look at it. There are other things as well to look. Fine. Let's move to the PPT now. So yeah, so we did not see the exam objectives here. So before objectives, let me tell you that this exam is for 90 minutes and there are 65 multiple choice questions that you have to take. The software version, Junos OS 21.2. So this is the version that when, I mean, whatever question will be asked will be applied on this Junos OS 21.2. Like if some command question is there, it will be related to 21.2. It is latest version, not very latest. 22 and 23 are also out, but 21.2 is pretty, I mean, latest only. So yeah, fine. So this exam is valid for 3 years. After that, you have to recertify, or you can go ahead for any, any other exam that is higher than this hierarchy, and then it will automatically be recertified for you. Now, let's see the exam objectives. So this is what you have to study to get through the exam. This is, so networking fundamental is going to be there in this. Collision domain, broadcast, which is very basic things, IPv4, IPv6, addressing layer 2, layer 3, and subnetting, supernetting, binary conversion, decimal to binary. So these are stuff that I think most of you already know. Connection oriented versus connectionless protocol, but we will we'll go through each topic while we start this. We will go through each topic. We will not exclude anything, thinking that it is a very basic thing. Then Junos OS fundamentals, so software architecture we'll study. We'll study control and forwarding planes. Maybe you guys, okay, I'll tell you later what is management, control, and forwarding planes. So that uh, routing engine and packet forwarding engine. So these are the part of this, any router, anything actually, routing engine and packet forwarding engine. So those are used to, you know, if there is a, okay, I'll explain it with the example and the diagram after this slide. So that will be better. Then, user interface is one of the topic where we will actually know about the CLI, what are the modes of it, how to enter those modes, and then what does help command does, then how to filter any output. Like if you want to see interface output and you only want to see when did it come up, so you have to filter it out, because if you'll just mention show interface and the interface name, it will show you a whole bunch of detail that you don't want to see. So like that. So filtering output is a part of it. Then we have active versus candidate configuration. A brief about this. Active and candidate configuration. Do you guys have any idea what those are?
Yes.
If someone is saying, I'm not able to listen.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. So were you saying something? Cool.
Are you audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, I know the active versus a candidate configuration.
Okay.
I have
Can you like explain what is it if in 2 lines if you want?
Yeah, candidate configuration actually before committing, it will take it as a candidate configuration. After committing, it will active.
As an active config, exactly right. So candidate is the one when we go into the console and we configure and we make some changes to the current configuration. So if we do not commit it, it will be the candidate configuration. Once we commit it, it will become active configuration, and that is the one which will be run. And whenever we commit any candidate configuration, the whole active configuration goes. So it will change the whole active configuration, and candidate configuration then becomes the active. So this also we'll see later in the later classes. Then rollbacks, reverting to previous configuration, rollbacks, modifying, managing, saving configuration files. So these are the things that we'll see in user interfaces. Configuration basics, so basically what is the factory default state of it, the initial configuration that we need to do on a router to get it working, the accounts, user accounts, login classes that we make. Every user or every class doesn't have all the they do not have all the access, right? If I am a root user, I will be able to run show commands, as well as I will be able to make all the configurational changes. So that needs to be configured while a device is new or according to the company policies. Then we have user authentication methods, interface types and properties. So these are the thing, logging and tracing. So logging, like if the syslogs that we see, if someone troubleshoot on a daily basis, they know that there is a message log file. So that how we do that. Then operational monitoring and maintenance. Under those, this is the part I was talking about. This is very basic level of troubleshooting we'll learn here. We will learn how we use monitor commands, then the interface statistics, errors, like if there is any input error or output error due to which we are facing an issue, like that. Installation and upgrades, ping, trace, route, telnet, SSH. These come under this. Then we have routing fundamentals. So the concept of routing protocols, how routing tables are made, how they take up any, best path to go to any destinations. So those come under this. This is basically very fundamental of routing. Then we have routing policy and firewall filter. So these are, like I already told you, if you want to make a policy to make a packet reach a destination your way, you make a routing policy. And if you want to avoid certain packets to waste your resource, so you filter them out. Like if you don't want ICMP to waste your time, you don't want ping to waste your time, so in that case you can filter those out, which we will see in these later topics. Fine. So I think we have completed everything about the exam preparation, objectives, and how much time the exam is held. like that. Fine. So this PPT is visible.
No.
I take it as it's visible, and let's move forward. Yeah. So already we have like seen everything we need to know about this this particular certification. So let's start with we will keep this session as very friendly session, just to uh, make this make things understandable. That is why I wanted very friendly session. So the first topic that I'm going to start with is how network works. So do you guys have any idea like what I am talking about? Or
Just one thing, in this batch, we cover all three JNCIA or expert level or only associate level.
so it will be JNCIA, associate, specialist, and professional level. Expert level is not there, but three levels we will cover up.
And,
So for
and one
every
more,
yeah.
in this, what is missed AI?
Mist AI is like wireless technology. It's a very new technology for Juniper. That is very different. I'm not fully confident that I can share anything about that, and that's going to be correct because that's a very recent product of there.
Yes.
And yeah, so if you want, I can
Yes, I want, because I have a company assigned this certification to me. That's why I'm asking for this.
Mist AI certification they asked you to do.
Yes.
Okay, so in this course we are not going to have it, but if you want, I'll like check it out, and next time I'll let you know because I don't want to mislead you with the wrong information. It's a machine learning. I mean, it's driven. You know, you have if in your company you must have gone through some wireless technologies, like some wireless assurance clouds technologies. So
We
this
worked
is
on
one of
Aruba
them.
Central.
Yeah, so this is one of them. So it's actually a cloud service only, but I'll have to look onto it. If you want, I can like check it out and let you know in the next class. But I don't have like a lot of knowledge on this. But yeah, it's a product that leads with wireless and cloud technology. That I know. So
Oh,
basically, they have combined it with AI. So that is why they are calling it Mist AI.
okay.
Do you have any other question?
Nothing.
Okay. If you want, I'll sure get to get to you in the next session, and I'll let you know what it is. And but very basic because it's not part of our this
Yes.
program. Yeah. Fine. So I was asking if you guys know, anyone can tell us like how network works, like very basic thing, day-to-day life. Do you see networks? Okay, let me give you an example for that. What I want to get to your mind is like you in daily life you see that you click few mouse clicks and then email is sent to whoever you want. Then if you want to search something, you just go ahead and like type something on the web browser, and almost instantly a web page opens up, and whatever you were searching, you get it almost instantly. So these every these kind of things, or if you share some pictures to you know apparently any part of the world, so all these things are done with the help of internet. So uh, anyone can think like, how does this happen? How does this information moves from point A to point B, or source to destination? How a simple like URL gets to correct destination? So we'll figure that out in this in the next slide. Fine. So every time whenever we send an email, we go on YouTube and we search for some videos. So every time, almost every time, it ends up in the right destination. So how this happens? So as I said, that network is a conduit that connects two or more computers or other devices. So it doesn't have to be two or more computers. Like if you have a computer and in your home, like two computers in your home, and that is, connected to a shared printer, that is also a network, right? That two people are two computer devices are using that printer wirelessly. That is also a network, but it's a small network. So this is something very basic, as most networks are a little bit more complicated. Like here we can see that we are sending this email from here to destination to other destination. So this is a bit of complicated. This is very small and very basic network that we see here. So every business with more than you all are aware that every business with more than 2 or 3 employees require a LAN network to share spreadsheet, to share documents, to talk to each other. So they are using a network, small network, LAN network. They're using it. Large companies, if they want to connect sites, suppose this is a headquarter of A, B, Z, any company, and they have one site in Bangalore and one site in Delhi. So if the site 1 wants to reach to site 2, they want to talk to each other, they want to talk to this headquarter site. So that is also a network that we see around us, or that very basic example of networks. Even if you're using a Wi-Fi, that is also an example of network. If you're downloading any picture or anything, that's very small and basic home size network, but yeah, that is also. So here what we saw is some networks are small. They are operated, or they are operating within a building, within a house. So this is known as LAN. It's local area network, right? And some networks are big. They are there to connect different sites in different cities or the different parts of the world. So these are actually wide area network. I will explain this in a bit more as well. Yeah. So there are more networks actually, but we are not concerned about that, like PAN, WLAN, or CAN. So campus area network. So, but we are not concerned about that right now. For our course, we need to know what is LAN, what is WAN. So anyone would like to tell me what's a LAN? Like if you know what is LAN and WAN. I know you will have an idea, but still, if someone can. Fine. So LAN basically is devices connected in one physical location. Like as I told you, in one building, if there are like 20 computers, they will be connected in one they are in one geographical area. So that is a LAN. So mostly, I think earlier LAN had speed of 10 to I think 100 Mbps. But now these days, it's actually we can achieve higher. Okay. Everyone else can see the PPT, right?
No.
No? Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't see it, you tell me right there, na. Otherwise, You won't be able to understand what I'm saying. So yeah, as I was saying that you got the concept of LAN and WAN, right? I take it as yes. No. Okay. Someone is saying no as well. So let me like explain you again. So LAN, I was saying, is something within one geographical area. It's a very local area network, as the name signifies. It should be in one home, within one building, within, you might have seen when we were in college, there were some sites that were only accessible to us students who are living, who are in this college library, or if people were living in hostel, only those people can access it. So that was a LAN. Now here WAN is something where yeah, so here I was telling that earlier LAN had speed of 10 to 100 Mbps. Now these days, as technologies and advancing, it's getting higher and higher. But yeah, earlier it was only this much. Then we have WAN. So it's basically the collection of LANs, like few small networks. And when we collect it and make it one network, it becomes WAN. So it's network of network. Biggest example will be internet. Like internet is the biggest WAN that we know, that we use on a daily basis. So here we're connecting this headquarter to site 1 and site 2, or many other site can be here, like site 3. So if these are making one network, or these are communicating with each other with the headquarter, this is known as WAN. Just give me 1 minute, okay? Sorry. So yeah, as I was saying, that site connecting to another site is an example of WAN. Another very, basic or very common example is when we are at home and we are using our computer, which is connected to, suppose, one R1 router. This is a home router. This is not one of those routers. This is a home router and it is connected to internet or some ISP maybe. So this is also an example of WAN network. Okay. So I think we have established what is the basic difference between both of them. I know most of you already know it, but since this is the basic certification, associate certification, I would like to get everything right on track and from the very basics. So yeah, so this we have established. Now we'll see the other. Okay, so we have already seen the different type of networks. Now the basic thing that we want to know is how one packet, one data, whatever you call it, like if you're a network engineer, definitely every data that moves from one place to another, you call it as a packet only. So how one packet, or how we communicate with another computer from being on one computer. So definitely we use, everybody knows OSI model. It's a framework that we use to, communicate. That is what every computer or every machine uses to, make data move from one place to another. So we'll see each layer one by one. I understand this is also very basic, but yeah, we have to, get this right. I think if In our course, we won't go above transport layer, but this is something that we should really know. So we'll see. So before getting to it, just one more example that I would like to give you. That is that will tell you how data travels from one place to another. So whenever we post when internet was not there, we used to send letters to our close ones. So how did we do? There was a series of steps that we used to follow, and that is the same thing that happens on internet as well. So suppose we are sending some letter to some closed one, and we are putting it in letter box. Okay, this is our letter. So we are putting it in the letter box. So how will it reach to the destination address that we have mentioned on this? So whenever we mention any address, there is some generic information that we give, like pin code. This is the generic thing that we share. And then to make the mail boy understand, we mention our name as well, or the destination name as well. Like if I'm sending something to my grandma, so I'll write her name, and then I'll write the address and the pin code. So pin code here is a generic information, and this her name is very specific information. Like that happens over internet as well. So whenever we click on send button when we are sending a mail, so that is very equivalent to dropping a mail to a mailbox. And now whenever we send this letter, the post office is where we will put our attention to. In the same way, so I told you there is general information and specific information. In the same way, computer delivers packet from one source to another. There is, if there is an email ID where I am sending an email to, so it will have like suppose my ID is shivi123@gmail.com. So general part is google.com, and then very specific is shivi1234. So that is how it happens. It follows a this post office model to navigate. Fine. As I was saying, OSI is very basic thing. Everybody knows it. Every computer follows it. So here we have 7 layers: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. Let me keep it here. Right. So if you have been in networking for a little while, you might know that OSI layer is not fundamentally what we follow. We follow this TCP/IP model, but as a framework, ISO has given us this OSI model. So we'll see how packet travels through this only, right? So ISO is international I'm sorry, I'm like forgetting it. Standardization. It's Office of Standardization. I'm not sure. You can check it out, but yeah, something like that. So I'm not very good with remembering things. So that is why. Fine. So we'll see from application layer. Someone was typing something. Yeah, telegraph. Yeah, telegraph. Exactly. If you were saying that it is example, then you're correct. Yes. So where were we? Yeah. So come on. We will see what application layer does, and then we'll move down towards physical layer. So application layer is where we request data from software application. Like if we are sitting at this computer and we are using Google Chrome, and we are like typing some URL that I want to get to this web server. So that is where application layer plays role, that the web browser is some software application is, web browser that we are using. And it is the actually, it is the one that is actually initiating the communication. So here we initiate our communication on application layer. We request for data, or we, send some data. It depends. Whatever we are doing, we are uploading, we are downloading, it depends. Someone is saying something. Fine. So, can anyone tell me what protocols work on application layer, if anyone wants to?
DSCP.
Uh-huh. I actually did not hear that, but yeah, fine. So the protocols that work are DNS, HTTP, because we are using like a web browser, we are DNS, HTTP, HTTPS, SMTP, then FTP. We have all these protocols that work on application layer. So in this course, we are not going to see any of these protocols because it works on application layer and it's not part of our certification. So then after application layer are, yes, correct. TTPS, HTTP, yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So after application layer, when we, we put a URL in the web browser, what happens is presentation layer comes into, into this picture. So what happens here is presentation layers actually make any information more presentable. So if we are receiving some data, it will make information more presentable for application layer. And if we are sending data, it will make this presentable for session layer. So what happens here? I think this for presentation layer and for session layer, I don't think people much know if they are not working in NATO. I mean, if they are working in, till TCP or a transport layer, they don't know much what it does. So it actually translates if required, and then encrypt, and then do compression of data. So what it means is, if I am receiving some data and it has reached till presentation layer, and it is not, in that language which my software can understand. So it will translate it. It will encode it and, decode it, and it will translate it. Then if you understand two different encoding methods between two systems. So translating incoming data into something that application of receiving device can understand is one of the purpose. The other purpose is encryption, as we know that if encrypting a data is, its name signifies it, yeah. So encryption is one of the thing that it does. Compressing data before delivering to, session layer. If we are sending something and if session layer, presentation layer will compress it so that it will improve the speed and efficiency of communication by minimizing the amount of resources that it will now use after compression. So yeah, very, important things presentation layer do. I understand that whenever I, get to this OSI model in any of the other sessions with someone and I'm listening to it, I see presentation layer and session layer being ignored. That is why I just mentioned those things to you. So then after presentation layer, the data will come to this session layer. So session layer, what does it do? As we can see here, it establish, I think okay, fine. It establish, maintain, synchronize, and terminate the interaction between sender and receiver. So what that means is, this layer is responsible for opening and closing communication between two devices. So what that, so you know that this session means that time between, any communication is opened and closed is known as the session. So session layer, what it will do is, it will ensure, as we said maintain. It will first establish a connection, then it will maintain it to ensure that the session stays open long enough to transfer all the data. Otherwise, if it gets closed between them, our data get lost. We have to again send it to transport layer. So that is why we want to maintain this this particular communication. Then, so if we are keeping it open long enough to transfer all the data, we will also promptly close it after everything has been exchanged in order to avoid any resource wastage. So if it keeps this session keeps on if this session being open and nothing is being transferred, so that is actually a wastage of resource. We don't want to do that. That is why it ensures that it gets closed as soon as everything has been transferred. So synchronize, what does this word mean? Like why session layer? What is session layer synchronizing? So it actually synchronizes data transfer with checkpoints. Let me explain what I wanted to say.